Hey, hello there folks, it's me RJB from RJB TV, and this is going to be a game between... Let me turn on the sound real quick, missing the sound. Wait, the music is there. Oh yeah, the sound is there as well, okay. A game between UareTooEz and 1vs1King. UareTooEz, I don't know much about him. I do know a little bit about him, but not much. I know that he is the player... Are You Scared or No Noob Please? I think that's the two names he uses on US West. He often hosts really expert 1vs1 public lobbies, and he titles the game name, I think, You're Too Scared or something, or You're Too Easy. Like, kind of like his names. Like, all of his names have kind of the same naming sense, where he just kind of tries to insult you with the name and the game title, and he tries to insult you in-game as well. It's kind of his entire thing. And here we have 1vs1King with a somewhat happy face. Going for a mid-gate bull order. He's on a Protoss, so Protoss against Terran between these two players. And 1vs1King, I actually have literally zero clue who this guy is, who he might be, how good he is. I just absolutely know literally nothing, other than the fact that he calls himself the 1vs1King with a somewhat smiley face on top. So yeah, both players, yeah, I just can't say much about them. That's all I know. It's literally all I know. He goes for a mid-gate build order, and he spaces the gateways out in such a way that it kind of triggers me, because this is a very weird way of building your gateways. This is a very weird, ugly, disgusting way of building your gateways. It repulses me. It's repulsive. It's disgusting. It makes me feel things of pure disgust and hate towards this specific decision to build it like this. But all in all, it's triple gateway, mid-gate. It is a very strong build order. When you are on a middle spawn location, it is a little bit weaker against corner spawn locations. It is stronger against middle spawn locations, because the distance to travel with a Zealot is very short towards the middle spawn. Now, you can almost fit it in one screen, but to a corner spawn, now that is a whole lot of walking. So the Terran, if they go for an 8 barracks into a 9 supply depot, will usually have quite enough units to defend themselves against the mid-gate, but I think that UareTooEz actually went for a 8 supply depot into a 9 barracks, which means he has fewer Marines than he otherwise would have, but he looks to be fine, because he went for a bunker in the front and a gas in the back. He's going to get an academy very soon as well. He's going to try to fight back against 1vs1King. 1vs1King actually takes a lot of damage on his Zealot. Almost dead and gone. Goes back in, doesn't put it in the back. Snipes the SCV there, though. That's pretty good. This one's out there going lower and lower, but stays alive. Marines have taken no damage yet so far. We still have no academy there from UareTooEz. We have a second Nexus there from 1vs1King. Things so far haven't gone exactly as he would have liked them to go for 1vs1King. I'd say at this point, I would like to see UareTooEz actually try to push with the Marines into the middle and try to prevent the cannons that are being built right now from finishing. He has the Marines, he's got the numbers, he can fight against the Zealots, but it's going to take some real micro, but he decides to play it more passively. He's got an academy on the way. Stim's going to be up there soon. The fact they went for a very fast bunker in the front has really slowed down his progression into an academy getting Stim, because he should actually already have had Stim almost finished up at this point in the game. And then medics on the way, and of course Stim, kicking in at the same time as the medics arrive with the Marines. But so far, things are looking good for, I would say, UareTooEz. But 1vs1King, if you can get these cannons up and finished here at the front, he can reap the benefits off of this +1 Nexus that he went pretty early into the game. Because UareTooEz is not microing, getting caught, getting surrounded. This is terrible. This is like a wet dream for 1vs1King. This is exactly what he wanted. Exactly the one thing he needed was to get us around on the Marine. So UareTooEz slipping up, not paying attention as well as he should have. And 1vs1King gets himself a pretty big sizable lead over UareTooEz here. Also, UareTooEz is still on a single command center. Didn't add a second one yet. He went for a very fast factory, which is not a bad choice, but in this situation, I'd say it's not the correct choice. He should have actually gone for perhaps a 4th barracks or a double commander in the back, which he didn't. He's really limiting himself to a small, tiny economy in favor of getting advanced technology really quickly, but because UareTooEz went for a triple nexus and has him contained, UareTooEz is going to fall behind really far, really significantly on 1vs1King, who is already building cannons here on the side. Yep, those are cannons. He's already preparing himself for tanks on the high ground or tank drops on his probes. He's already preparing himself. He's really focused on just speed running, sprinting towards a big economy and massive production to just overrun UareTooEz. That seems to be his plan. So 1vs1King is playing this, yeah, kind of passively at the moment. Started off with a super hyper aggressive build order, but immediately switched into a hyper passive build order. But he might still try to do some touching and feeling there with the Zealots, seeing how many units are in the front and whether there is a wall in the front to keep him out. And UareTooEz is going to go for, I assume, a tank drop here. It's got siege mode and a tank on the way, getting commencement number 2, but the commencement number 2 is very late. He's already behind by 20 workers, and he'll soon be behind by even more because we get that 3rd nexus kicking in for production very soon. You have a robotics there for 1vs1King and a Tempest Archive as well, getting level 1 armor and zealot speed. He's not getting level 1 attack because his plan is probably to brute force his way through using the increased tankiness of his units and to keep his Templars alive for longer. Because yeah, he's going to go for Tempest Archive, he's getting a support bay, he's getting a shuttle as well. It's going to be Templar drops in combination with Zealots trying to break through the front door. He's also been doing a great job of steadily and continuously producing units from those gateways on the middle. At the moment, my prognosis for UareTooEz is that he is going to die quite easily once 1vs1King has everything that he needs prepared and set in motion, ready to bring down the pain, bring down the hammer. 1vs1King is showing that he might be a cut above UareTooEz in terms of how he understands the game. His understanding seems to be quite superb, quite impressive so far. So I'm liking this guy's play. Even though I think this is a terrible design for a midgate, all in all, this guy knows what he's doing. Storm is on the way, and so is Shuttle Speed, getting a Stargate as well to help escort the shuttle in. UareTooEz is now on 25 SCVs. He's very, very far behind where he wants to be. He should actually already be on like 38, maybe 40 SCVs in total. He should not be this far behind on 1vs1King. The fact that there's a significant difference in worker production is really going to come back to haunt him and bite him in the ass, because he's just, as we can see, not just slowly falling behind, he's actually rapidly falling behind on 1vs1King. 1vs1King is speed running the economy. I said it before, he's running and sprinting towards that finish line of having the biggest economy I've ever seen. Absolutely massive. Huge, in fact. So we have, I'm gonna go for triple, quadruple robo. So 4 robos there for non-stop shuttle production. We have a scan coming in there. He's got a tank drop. What? He didn't go for a tank drop. I really thought that he was gonna go for a tank drop, because if he went for a starport very quickly but didn't even make the dropship quickly, then what is the point of going for a fast starport if you're not going to utilize it? That's just a waste of minerals. You could have gotten the starport like at 7 minutes into the game, then made a control tower and be at exactly the same point with his dropship production as he is right now. So delaying the dropship production this much has really removed any possibility of maybe ever hitting a tank drop on 1vs1King. So I really think that getting the starport that quickly really shot himself in the foot. Like, the supply difference is already huge. We see a 70 difference between the two players, and 1vs1King pretty much has a completely finished base. Like, he doesn't actually need much more than this. He can win the game with this. He can play out the entire game with this. He's got 7, 11, got 14 gateways, got 5 robos, because he's adding on 6 robos. He's adding on 2 more. Where is he keeping this shuttle? Where is he keeping? Right there, right inside of the enemy's base. But he doesn't actually storm. Looks like the Reaver or the High Templar died. I think he sniped the High Templar. That was actually a really good play. So I gotta give it to UareTooEz. Like, target firing the High Templar before it can storm is risky. But if you can do it quick enough, that is a big, big win. Because you do not lose any mining time from having to pull the SCVs away from the minerals to run away to dodge and survive the storm. Instead, you can just have them stay on the minerals where they can keep mining, and you get all that sweet income. And you know what? That sweet income is exactly what UareTooEz needs, because he is really far behind. Tanks on the high ground, unloading on the high ground. Corsair is tanking the turrets, flies into the enemy base, unloading on the low ground. Zealots are chasing down the Marines. Marines are... I think the Marines have like 1-1 upgrade. 1 attack, Zealots are on 1 armor, and they are getting weapon and armor level 2. A couple more gateways coming in, picking up more units. He's gonna get a couple Corsairs to mix with the shuttles as well. He's got 5 shuttles. 2 Corsairs still hanging in the back that could also distract away from the Marines and the turret if he decides to move them to the left here as the drop comes flying in. Tank on high going there to kill the Zealots. Drop there going in over the top corner. Flies in really deep. UareTooEz is actually catching up at the moment, but goes in with the drop. A very bad response there from UareTooEz. He's trying to snipe the shuttles. He's actually sniping some shuttles, but he does unload. Is there a Templar in between? Yes, there is a Templar in between. Templar gets 1 single kill. 1 uno. But he picks it up, flies deeper, has no storm remaining there though, so it's a cute move to pick it up and fly in deeper, but it doesn't actually do anything at all. But the Zealots are absolutely wrecking face. And I think that UareTooEz is thinking there might still be a Templar inside one of those shuttles, but he pulls back to the minerals and resumes mining. He's on 55 at the moment, 55 SCVs. And we have a Templar there in the front. Of course, he's in the back dying. Another drop there being picked up. Ready to go, ready to fly in, ready to kill, ready to destroy his opponent. Zealot on the top slowly dying. He's on 3 factories, cutting number 4. He's only on 1 starport, but it's understandable. He's dealing with economic pressure. He's a little behind where he wants to be. He's on 61 SCV, should already be on 80, maybe 75, depends on where you want to be, but he's on too few SCVs. He doesn't have enough production to keep up with a simple frontal attack spam from 1vs1King. So big drop, huge drop. There might be all sorts of things in there. Actually, some of them are empty, but those are just there to reduce the chance of, okay, he's gonna just load them all up. Yeah, there's like 10 shuttles. He's really just picking everything up that he can. He's gonna fly in right over this wide open gap, go straight for the command room in the back. Corsair there, distracting. SCV's running to the bottom, running to the top. They've got nowhere left to run. Unloading Reaver. Reaver's gonna shoot its load on some Marines. Some Marines are in the back. Bunkers are firing and everything they can. Zealots are unloading all top of everything. SCVs have to run through the firing zone. He calls them a noob. Okay, 1vs1King is pretty BM as well. And UareTooEz is saying that he would easily win against 1vs1King if 1vs1King was Terran as well. But I just think that UareTooEz really misplayed this in numerous ways. But he does have potential. Like, what I saw was pretty good at some points. But 1vs1King just made way better choices in his optimization. And UareTooEz was just not making the right choices. He got the right ideas. He's got the right execution of a lot of things he's doing. But the things he decided to do just were not efficient or correct. Timings were wrong. Was kind of spending minerals in places where he didn't need them yet, needlessly slowing him down in other directions. I really think he should have utilized that starport with the dropship much earlier, instead of making it so late into the game where it effectively did absolutely nothing. So yeah, this was it from RGB. 1vs1King against UareTooEz. UareTooEz, I don't want to say he died easily, but he died more easily than I was hoping, you know? He died more easily than I was hoping. He did a great job defending against the mid-gate, quite easily even. Like, the way he defended the mid-gate, it took him pretty much no effort at all. But I also have to add that 1vs1King gave up on the mid-gate after building 4 Zealots. He just gave up on it immediately. And immediately switched over into Nexus, and a big-ass economy. A lot of gateways, a lot of robos, and a single Stargate for Corsairs. And it worked out like a charm. Shut him down, kicked him, and won the battle.